So if this is your first time seeing this beautiful face here, I ask that you stick around for until the end of the video so that you can see what this is all about. So in today's video, I have decided that I am going to start a dating series. Disclaimer, I am not, nor have I ever been in a relationship, but I know what I want, I know what I'm looking for, and I know what I expect. I mean, I may be wrong in the future when and if I do end up in a relationship. I may be wrong about some points, but as of right now, I just want to share with you guys what I think, what I want, what's in my head, what's in my mind, especially based off what I have read in the Bible. So let's get started. So this first video is gonna be looking for the ideal Christian man. So first of all, you have to know what you want. You have to know what you're looking for, what you expect from your spouse, from your individual, from your partner, whatever you want to call them. You have to know what you're expecting from them. If you're expecting to go into a Christian-based relationship, you have to know that there are certain things that you're not going to be able to do with that person that you would normally have been able to do if you were to be in a relationship centered in the world. Any relationship, I feel, should be leading to marriage. There should be an intent for marriage. The end game should be marriage. And so if you want to have a good relationship that is going to eventually turn into a relationship that other people are going to look at and be like, I admire them, like I want to be like that, then first and foremost, you have to know what you're looking for. And that's why this video is going to be looking for the ideal Christian man. So I've written down a few points centered around what I think, what I feel, what I want. You guys may have different opinions. If you do, let me know down below. We could chat about it in the comment section. If you agree with something, also don't be shy and let me know what you agree on exactly. And if you want to add a little bit something, want to share your experience, then feel free to do that as well. And so yeah, let's get started. So first and foremost, they have to be God-fearing. You need someone who is going to be God-fearing, okay? He has to be obedient to the Spirit. He has to listen to what God is telling him, or else he's just like, there's really no point. You know, if he is unable to listen to and be obedient to what God is telling him, then there's no way he is ever going to cooperate with you in your relationship. You need to make sure that you have someone who is a strong leader that can guide both you and your household, who's not going to lead you into temptation, into sin, but is going to protect you from that. And you also need someone who has good, strong Christian values as well. Because if he doesn't have good, strong Christian values, if he doesn't have a good foundation to stand on, then he's going to fall for literally everything that comes his way. So, second, and I think this one is very, very important, he has to know his purpose and what he wants in life, okay? Make sure to look for someone who is sure, they're certain. If they're someone who's not flaky, make sure you find someone who's not flaky, who's not easily deterred, who doesn't easily give up, but someone who is going to make up their mind and stick to that, okay? Because that ensures that no matter what happens in your relationship, the smallest, tiniest things is not going to turn him away from you. The smallest, tiniest little arguments and stuff like that, they're gonna be someone who's gonna sit down and be like, okay, I know this hurt me, or I know that I did this to hurt you, but I feel like we are worth it enough for us to sit down and find a solution, okay? So that also includes looking for someone who has life goals, who don't just want to live for the basics, but want to go above and beyond, like the small things that they're handed in life. Okay, we also, ladies, we also are looking for a partner who is going to be protective. Okay, you don't want to have to be the person telling them, oh, you need to be protective in this situation, you need to, why didn't you do this, like, why didn't you do that? First of all, we shouldn't place expectations on human beings, like too many expectations, especially if they're not aware of it, because human beings are fallible. They will always disappoint you. The only person that's never going to disappoint you in your life is God. So don't place those expectations on them, but also we don't want to be the ones telling our spouse, hey, you need to be protective in this situation. So it would be good if they already were, like, for you to feel safe, for you to feel sure, like, oh, I know this person got me no matter what. Like, that's a good feeling to have. It's good to feel reassured. It's good to feel like, hey, I don't have to worry about this, because if I'm with this person, I know, like, everything's taken care of. So that's important to me. I don't know about you or whatever. I want a man who is soft-spoken and patient. Soft-spoken because I want, like, a man who doesn't speak unnecessarily, but when he does speak, it's something, you know, like they're about to shoot you some wisdom, they're about to blow your mind, because everything that comes out of their mouth, you know that, like, they thought about that beforehand. Like, they don't just say things unless they have, like, deep, like, good meaning to them. They don't just give advice unless they know that it's gonna help. Like, I love that, okay? And also, I'm an annoying person once you get to know me. Like, I'm quiet at first, but once you get to know me, I'm an annoying person, and I need I need a spouse or partner that's going to be patient when I'm being hard-headed, or patient when I'm being annoying, aggravating, being a brat because I can't get what I want, or in those times where my pride is, like, all the way up, okay? And I need someone, like, bring me down to the level I need to be at, you know? But not in a disrespectful way. And I also, like, I would love to have a partner, like, you should look for a partner who can also be humble and not afraid to be corrected. Yeah. Or a partner who can admit when they are wrong, because you're not ever gonna just be right all the time. It's not a thing. It's not. We should also be looking for a partner who is a good communicator. A good communicator doesn't necessarily mean someone who always has something to say all the time. So no, this is not contradicting what I said previously. A good communicator is basically someone who is always willing to listen, first and foremost. Second, they are someone who listens to understand. They don't listen to respond. There's a lot of people who, like, that is their strategy. They listen to respond, to throw out the best comeback, to have the best defensive statement to throw back at the person that they're speaking to. But a good open communicator listens to understand where you're coming from, what you're talking about, what you actually mean, not what they think that you mean, and then respond. Not just listen to be like, okay, you said you was mad. Okay, but I was mad too. Blah, blah, blah. Like, they're not gonna do that. Period. They're not, because they care about fixing the situation. And that goes back to like what I think I mentioned this before, but, like, look for someone who is willing to call you out on your BS. Okay, you don't need someone who's gonna agree with you all the time just because they're afraid of making you upset or making you mad. You need someone who's going to sacrifice, someone who's gonna like throw your feelings to the side just so that they could save or worry about your spiritual life. Someone who puts your spiritual life ahead of like what you're feeling at the moment. You need, like, we all need someone like that in our lives every once in a while. So that applies not only for partners, relationships, or whatever, but it applies for any friendships, period. Okay? Like, we all have that person who has that sit down and shut up card in our lives. And we need to be able to give that to another individual. Okay. Next one, you should probably most likely look for somebody who is going to respect you no matter what. Like, that means respecting your values, respecting your friends, respecting your families, respecting what's important to you, respecting your body. Like, for example, if you get some temporary insecurities, temporary desires to like want to get it done and over with, to like have sex and move on, or like want that experience, they have to respect you enough to remind you that, hey, your body is a temple. Hey, you're valued. You're worth much more to God than could ever to this temporary desire that you're having now. You need someone that's going to remind you of what your standards are, what the standards that you set for yourself. If they care about you, they're gonna care about what you care about. And so look for someone who has that respect for you no matter what and wants you to succeed. Because if not, like, what's the point? Okay, next. This one, y'all, I cannot stress enough how important this one is. You need to look for a spouse or a partner that thinks that prayer can take down mountains. That prayer can bring down mountains. That prayer can part the sea. That prayer can work that miracle. Okay? You need somebody that's going to be willing to get down on their knees and pray with you and not be embarrassed about it. You need someone who's comfortable enough to talk to or about God in a way that's just like, you know? Like, yes. You need someone like that, because that person is going to encourage you in your prayer life, in your spiritual life, in your devotional life. That person is going to encourage you. That person is going to push you forward, to move you forward in the times where you feel depressed, in the times where you feel down, in the times where you don't like God, where in the times where you want to blame Him for everything. They're going to motivate you to stick to what you have now. Be grateful for what you have now. Be grateful for what God has already done for you, so that He could know that, like, you're not only there because He's able to do, but that you're there just because He is. Get me? Anyways, the next one, you need to look for a partner who knows who he is, who knows whose he is, and who knows who he is fighting for. I can't stress this enough. This goes back to like the purpose and knowing like what he or she wants in life. But also, if your partner doesn't know who they are, they're gonna struggle with their identity. They're gonna have insecurities that you're not gonna know what to do with, and because as a result of having those insecurities, that's gonna affect your relationship, and that's not something that you want. Trust me, I've seen this be a negative factor in relationships before. So just, yeah. Okay, next, okay. This is a big one too. This is a really big one, especially in my book. I don't know about you. I don't know how you're gonna feel about it, but this is a big one. You need to look for someone who is able to take advice from other people. Because if they're unable to take advice from other people, then that means that they think that they're infallible. That means that they think that they are correct all the time, are incapable of making mistakes, that they think that they're perfect. And they're not. There's no human being that is. So if a person is, your person is unable to listen to you when you, thanks. Anyways, make sure that you find yourself a person who is open to bettering and correcting themselves, because if they're willing to correct and better themselves, then at the end of the day, just know that that's going to reflect on you, and they're going to always want you to better and correct yourself. They're always going to push you to better and correct yourself, and that's something that's always a positive in a relationship. And the last one, to be honest, is not really something that you need to look for. But aside from wanting to have a person who thinks about what they say before they say it, I want someone who is able to hold a conversation down when it's necessary. When it's time for me to, like, when the deep talks come up, I need you to be able to sit down and not just be like, I don't, like, so it's good it's good to have a listener sometimes, but not all the time. Sometimes I need to vent, but other times I need to know, like, what do you think about this? So, like, I need to know what's in your head. So, okay. Those are all the points that I have for looking for your ideal man. Just make sure that while in the dating phase, while you're thinking about dating, like, the dating life, all that stuff, just remember that first and foremost, who you are, whose you are, and who you're fighting for. And just know that your identity lies in God. It doesn't lie in man. It doesn't lie in being in a relationship that doesn't make you any better or any worse at the end of the day. You could remain single for the rest of your life, but as long as you respect yourself, you respect your body, and you know that you are perfect, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and God makes no mistakes. You have a purpose, and you're going to live it out with or without a spouse. So just don't go looking for the relationship, and watch God work his miracle. Watch him give you options that you never thought like you'd ever meet in your life. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.